Hey, everybody. Welcome to Russ Reels Live on this Thursday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I am so glad you're here because we have an amazing panel. We're going to be talking kindness can change the world and change your world for sure. So don't miss out. Make sure and tag your friends and share this out. Here we go. Special thank you to our sponsors of Russ Reels Live, Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer, Matt and Sue Killen and Crown Real Estate, and Country Vitamins in Corvallis, Oregon. For more information on Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer and how they help people going through cancer and their families, go to perspectivesoncancer.com. And for more information on Matt and Sue Killen and Crown Real Estate Group, call 503-409-5023 in Salem, Oregon. And for more information on Country Vitamins in Corvallis, Oregon, and their amazing supplements and vitamins, go to countryvitamins.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Partisan, used with permission. Whoop. All right. We are moving a groove to that music. Thank you so much for being here. I'm a little partial. All my music for all of my shows is done by my Grammy nominated son, who's amazing. I have two amazing adult children that are so musical. It just like boggles my mind. And I'm so thankful for that. Thankful to God every day for the blessings and family. And of course, for my beautiful wife, who is always supporting, giving me strength and helping me late in the day when I'm doing live streaming. So thankful for that. So listen, I'm so glad you're here. We have an amazing panel. So I am not going to be spending a whole lot of time here chatting and talking and introing, but I am going to actually just give you a couple quick things and then we're going to get rolling because, man, we got a good group and we need to have time to talk. So we are here every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Russ Reels Live. That's right. You know what? I just love people and I love when you engage. So please engage in the comments, share this with your friends, get this, share it out right now and let them know that we are on. Tag them and say, don't forget Russ Reels Live with an amazing panel about kindness is on tonight. And of course, you know, I'm all about connection. So I would love for you to connect with me at russhedge.com. That's right. Russhedge.com is a place to go. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube page. You can go to russreels.live. So listen, if you know my name, you get to my website. If you know the name of the show, you get to my YouTube page. How much more simple could it be? I'm a simple-minded guy. Hope it helps you like it helps me. So today, it's just a wonderful, fantastic day. And I am so blessed with so many friends that are so kind to me and that also are going to talk with you about how kindness can really change your world. So anyway, that is information for today. And don't forget, this show is not only sponsor supported, but listener supported. Thanks so much for that. You'll see all the information in the comments. And we just thank all those who support us because we would not be here without you and without your support and without our sponsor support. So thank you so much for that. Okay, with that, we always go ladies first in our discussions. And we have the queen of kindness today. Andrea Sanchez is going to join us first. Hey, Andrea, how's it
Hi.
going?
Really good. It's so great to be here. And I don't, wow, Queen of Kindness. I think there's a lot of royalty and kindness out there, but thank you.
Well, I tell you, I love every Wednesday. I'm going to throw a plug out there 15 minutes of kindness on LinkedIn that I tune into every Wednesday. And I just love it. I just love going in. It's just a short little encouragement. And there's a nice group of people that love to come in and just you bring so many great nuggets about kindness. So, but before I talk all about you, let's go back to the beginning and say, who in the world is Andrea Sanchez and what are you up to?
Great question. So let's see, where to start. I'm originally from Argentina. I have lived overseas. I've lived in many places as I was growing up. Had a lot of change in my life, and some good, some bad. And all I knew was, as I learned through all of these things, is that kindness is what gets you through it. I may not have gone through kind situations the whole time. I mean, there were when you're kids, especially when you're in middle school, etc. The kids are not exactly very nice, but all those situations and all those hard times, especially as you're growing up, really taught me that I don't want anyone else. If I can have one person not feel this way as I did growing up, I want to make sure and spread that message to others. So I fast forward. I devoted myself to communications, to spread more of the word, to writing. I've always been a writer, but then I've worked in nonprofits, and more right now I work for a clean energy company. I do all of their corporate communications. On the side, though, I've always had a side project that I started in 2020. I started with the Worthy Rally for Hope and Kindness, which was originally just to have a positive rally, because so many challenging things were happening in 2020, and I wanted like a positivity rally. I did not realize that after that one rally it would turn into a 2.5 year thing every last Saturday of the month. Hoping to bring those back, but as of right now, as you mentioned, I do 15 minutes of kindness every single Wednesday, 7:30 Central, and where I give space for people to come give a shout out to those that have given them an extra reason to smile, to giving them hope, because we all know life is a roller coaster, but it's those little nudges and that remind us that it's going to be okay.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely true. I love that. Those little nudges, we need them. And I appreciate you more than you know. And you are such a wonderful and kind person. We get a chance to hang out in New York at the
Yes.
Perspectives on Cancer conference and just so amazing. So thank you for being you. And next, we're going to bring in Kevin Smith. Mr. Kevin, my friend, how are you?
I'm great, my friend. How are you?
So good, so good. Wow, your introduction actually could take hours, but see if you can boil it down just to a nugget to tell everybody who in the world is Kevin and what are you up to?
Well, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version, but the truth is, I'm just an ordinary guy who was touched by the actions of an ordinary woman who did an extraordinary thing. She was kind. On Good Friday morning, 2023, after a routine trip to the grocery store, I came home and realized I'd left my wallet behind. And in that precise moment of panic and despair, if you will, as I'm literally my fingers on the panic button, which is the ignition button of my car, to return back to the store where I knew I had left behind. In that precise moment, there's a young woman at my front door holding my wallet, asking if it was mine. And I thanked her profusely at the time. I offered her a monetary reward she refused to accept. And when I walked back inside, I was just overwhelmed by what had occurred. I mean, she literally went the extra mile for me to return my wallet without hesitation the moment she found it. And I felt I should have done more for her, to go the extra mile for her. So it began instantly enough, Russ. I just wanted to identify who this young woman was, thank her in a more meaningful way. And then it literally, from that point on, took on an adventure of a lifetime, impossible to put into words. It became so much more. It became about making a meaningful difference. And it ultimately inspired me to launch the global nonprofit Kindness Worldwide later that year, which has a vision to create a culture of kindness in communities throughout the world. Not only, your title of the live stream tonight is Kindness Can Change the World. I would argue kindness will change the world. It already has. We're all going to be doing it together. Really, I can't put it into words. There's a film out on the story of Kindness Worldwide. It's very powerful. This act of kindness has not only changed lives, it has saved lives. It's going to change and save many more. And I'll leave it at that because I could go on and on.
Well, yes, you could. And there's so many amazing things you've done. We'll talk more about that. But I was just so blessed to be able to hang out with you at PodFest in Orlando, Florida, here just a month or two ago. Time is moving so fast. And so, yeah, just really, really enjoyed that. All right, next in, a person who really helped promote the movie and all that you're doing around this, Mr. Mike Ashabraner, with us tonight. How you doing, Michael?
I'll give you the American answer. I'll say I'm fine. But the truth is, my kids brought home crud, and I've got it now. But I'm happy. Hey, I'm around kindness. It's the cure, baby.
Well,
Russ.
I am just glad you're here. Give everybody you are the king of the hounds of business. Give everybody a little snippet. Who in the world is Mike Ashabraner? What are you up to?
Yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Mike Ashabraner, professionally known as the Redneck Connector, and proud and humble leader of the Hounds of Business community. Safe, trust first community for entrepreneurs. That's it. We can't even tell the difference of YouTube shorts. Is this AI? Is this real? Yeah, it's that bad in business and life, isn't it? It's awful. So, hey, put a bunch of good people in containers. You don't have to look over your shoulder, people who do business with heart first, and the rest takes care of itself. It's been an honor to work with Kevin. And hey, y'all, he almost lost his wallet again at PodFest. I said, don't do that. I said, look, we barely can help promote the kindness movement. You do that, man, and you lose your backpack. What now? The happiness movement? Like we bandwidth, Kevin. He did, y'all. I got pictures of it anyway. But it's been a blast. It's really been something special to support Kevin and see the evolution of what's happening. And then, look, I mean, the Elite Business Care Bears uniting under this banner. It makes it so much easier to know who to do business with and, just birds of a feather. It's so awesome.
Yeah, well, you're awesome too, and of course, I was blessed to also be able to hang out with you. We were roomies at the Podfest and had so much fun. Met so many amazing people, and it was just a great time. So thank you for that. All right. Also, a member, actually a person that's in the movie that Kevin put out that we'll talk to, and is Captain Kindman, Randy McNeely. How's it going, Randy?
Oh, it's going fantastic, and I'm just thrilled to have the opportunity to be here with so many amazing people. And
well, yes, you're doing amazing stuff. I'm so sorry to cut you off. Go ahead and keep going and tell us who in the heck is Randy.
Well, just a little bit about me. I have the privilege and honor of being a Kindness Worldwide ambassador. I'm thrilled to be able to support Kevin, like Mike Ashabraner, my company, our company, the Kindness Factor International, had the privilege and honor of filming for such a time as this, which is, shares the story of the spark that lit the fire that has become Kindness Worldwide, the movement. And as you mentioned briefly, I had the honor of being part of that film. I'm a survivor of multiple forms of childhood abuse. And, when Kevin talks about kindness saving lives, I can testify to anybody. I'll stand before any audience in the world and say, I know that's true. Why? Because I've lived it. Kindness saved my life when I was a teenager. And I can, and I know of the power that it can have to touch hearts, reach hearts, change lives, change minds, save lives, make a huge difference if we're willing to look for the opportunities to embrace it and put it into action. Why is kindness so powerful? Because kindness is love made visible. It's love in action. It's love's delivery agent. Every feeling of love that we have in this world comes because somebody delivered it through kindness.
Oh my goodness. Put so well, I tell you. And Randy, I appreciate you so much, all that you're doing. You're just amazing. And it does. Kindness can changes lives. It does change lives every day. And speaking of changing lives, this man goes around spreading joy, love, and kindness and surprising people. And his laugh is infectious. Mr. Michael Ray is in the house. Hey, Michael Ray.
What's up, brother? Hello, and all the beautiful people in the room. I am absolutely insanely blessed to be here tonight with you. So thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words.
We are blessed to have you here. And just give us a little, for the few people that don't know you, who in the world is Michael Ray? What are you up to?
I guess, here mostly locally and on a lot of the social platforms, I'm called the Smile Guy. Like Randy, kind of so beautifully put out there to me, smiling is a nonverbal way of saying I love you. And I found myself in that position in life when life got really hard, of just looking at all the beautiful things that exist. It started with, my faith, my children. My children are a huge blessing. And then one little girl that, has Down syndrome and is nonverbal. So I understood what, the profound impact of smiling and kindness in the very simplest forms. A lot of times we equate kindness as we have to give people things, tangible things, but yet to me, and I think to a lot of people, it's the intangible things that we do to touch their hearts and their lives. So I'm an incredibly blessed man. I like to think that I'm positive in all things that I do, and really just trying to inspire others to create change in their lives.
And you do such an amazing job, and you do inspire change in people and just a positive. I'm telling you, I just love watching your videos. It's interesting because I thank God every day for the time I was able to spend with my mama. And I put out hashtag happy moments with mama videos from her memory care as she went through Alzheimer's, some of the joyous, most happy times of my life. And that I was able to do that. And some people say, oh, that was horrible. Well, Alzheimer's is horrible, yes, but we lived the joy of the Lord every day and enjoyed the
Amen.
time that we had. And you with your daughter with Down syndrome, it just makes me smile, laugh, and cry all at the same time. So amazing. So amazing. All right. Well, listen, I got to move on to get my good friend and the guy with, I'm sorry, the best name in the room here, Russ John's in. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. Hey, Russ.
Best beard.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Thank you.
It is so great to have you, Russ. And we're going to
Yeah.
give you a couple moments here. You've been through adversity, but you keep smiling. And I love that. I always put out kindness is cool and smiles are free. It's one of my favorite. And so tell everybody a little bit about who is Russ Johns. What are you up to?
Well, I've been vacant for a long time in social media, but I was in Andrea's event in November of 23, and shortly after in December 1st, I had a stroke, and just woke up in the morning and just like, okay, what's going on? But the only thing I could say is cool. But I lost all my ability to communicate and talk or speak, or I didn't remember my passwords or anything. So, but I was always motivated by kindness and smiles, because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what happened in their life, what you could do when you actually care about someone and make sure that you have the reality to actually be kind. And so, but I met almost all of you in between from running the Pirate Syndicate and the Pirate Broadcast. And then I got started early and taught a lot of people to live stream and podcasts. And I'm a contract creator, but after my mother passed in December last year, I took a tour of the roads, and I ended up landing in Texas again. So I'm doing some things and getting back on track, and so just enjoying life. So I couldn't believe that I could enjoy the life this much. So
you are amazing. And the adventures you went on going around parts of the U.S. Just recently, I was so blessed to have Russ Johns roll through town and say, hey, Russ, I'm here. Let's get together. We had some Oregon barbecue and had a great lunch together. Got a big hug. What an amazing guy. Just had so much fun. So, All right, Andrea, we're going to jump back to you. And, I tell you, I think kindness is all about intentionality. It is intentionally remembering to do the things that show that you care and that, people matter. And I think you're so much about that. And that's really life changing. Talk more about that.
Oh, thank you so much. It's whatever you can do to remember that despite someone's position, someone's title. My dog, I think, wants to also participate. Someone's position, someone's title, where they come from, whatever it may be, they're all human, first and foremost. And humans, I like saying this, and I've heard it from someone else. I can't take credit, but humans are messy. Humans are messy, and we may have the best intentions in life. We may have the most positive mindset, but we have emotions and we have feelings and we have those basic needs, right? Of feeling like we want to belong and we want to feel connection and all of that. So if you remember that regardless of who someone is or how they dress in a suit or in shorts or whatever, everyone is human, and everyone I'm confident enough to say 100%. I'm 100% sure that everyone at some point in their life, if it's not all the time, needs an extra nudge of kindness, an extra dose of kindness. So why not be the one that's able to give that gift to someone? They may be a stranger, they may not acknowledge it, but knowing that you may have had the opportunity to kind of reshape someone's day because you smiled at them, because you said thank you, because you acknowledged them, they felt seen, they felt heard. I just love being able to do that because I see how people and nature, and it doesn't have to be just people, nature, memories, photos, images, music does that to me. And but you do have to be self-aware. You have to be self-aware because all of us kindness ambassadors, we like to give kindness, but do we give as much kindness to ourselves? And that's where I struggled a lot in the years. And so now I become more self-aware, and I stop myself and I do the same thing I do for others. I try to do to myself and say, hey, what is a reminder I can give myself on why it is worth going, it is worth moving forward, of why this is not negative, of what is that I'm grateful for. So intentionality is everything.
Oh my goodness, you are so right because we have to be kind to ourselves if we want to be in a good position to be kind and love others, right, Kevin? I mean, this whole kindness movement that you've really fallen into and God has blessed you with. Talk a little bit more about it, but I mean, it does start with each one of us individually.
Well, it really does. But to piggyback a little bit on what Andrea said, I think ultimately everyone wants to be seen. They want to feel valued. They want to feel appreciated. They want to be understood. And when this act of kindness occurred that I described earlier, there was Ring doorbell footage at the front door of this young woman with my wallet, and a local news organization covered the story, and the story went viral. And I didn't know who this young woman was. All I knew was her first name. And it just, the story evoked so much positivity and people were inspired by it. And I'm like, does this young woman even know about this story at all and what her act of kindness did and what the ripple effect was? So I connected with her on Facebook. I just scrolled under the first name Brooke, and I found a profile picture of a young woman and her dog. And it was a long shot Hail Mary attempt, but it turned out to be her. And in our correspondence, I sent her a link to the story. And I said, are you the young woman in the story? And it was her. And she made a comment that really resonated with me. She was very modest and humble throughout, but she said, I'm just a blurry face. Because in the news segment, they blurred out her face from the Ring doorbell footage because no one knew who she was. They wanted to protect her privacy. And I'm like, no, you're more than a blurry face. I mean, you did this wonderful act of kindness that inspired so many people. And it just had a profound impact on me because how many people in our world feel like the blurry face? That they lack significance or their life maybe lacks meaning and purpose. Everyone wants to be seen. And so it was really, that was a catalyst to get this young woman the public recognition I felt she deserved. And that really was the spark that led to this adventure of a lifetime. But, sometimes we look at titles, we look at status, we look at fame and celebrity. That means nothing. Everyone ultimately is just we're all just human beings. We want to be understood and feel valued. And, we got to stop looking at titles and status, and we got to start looking at hearts, because that's where the true beauty resides. And kindness is the world's greatest superpower. We each have that power within us to do those little things that really are so big. I mean, just a simple smile, a hello, that is a reason someone else feels seen. And we literally can not only make someone's day, we can change lives with those little things. I mentioned that lives have been saved because of the ripple effect of this act of kindness. That is true. Randy alluded to it. I mean, kindness is that powerful. It does change and even save lives. And we have the greatest superpower within us. It's a choice, and a choice we each can freely make to simply choose to be kind.
Oh my goodness, that is so good. And yes, it's a choice we make every day, right, Mr. Mike Ashabraner? Something we push forward and we make things happen. And speaking of making things happen, you're the man.
What do I say to that, Russ? No, I mean, what is it? Yeah, no.
Tell us why you're the man.
There you go. I need more than that, Russ. I told you I had COVID brain, man. You can't just throw me out there. But yeah,
go ahead, Mike.
No, load me up. What do you want to know?
Well, I was just going to say, through the way that you bring connection, you bring people together. You do it in such a loving and kind way, and that's what you're all about. So, that's why people want to come together. We were created by God for connection, right?
Oh, absolutely. Again, I didn't want to be a different guy doing business 12 hours out of the day, doing tactics I didn't like, having to be somebody I wasn't. And I didn't want to do that. And that's what you see prevailing out there. If you want to be somebody, you got to learn how to persuade. We don't call it manipulation, but that's what it is. We lead with, all this stuff. And as we as a unit, the folks on the panel, Kindness Worldwide, the Hounds of Business, you don't have to do that. I'm not knocking it. Listen, do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, there is a huge push of people. I would call them the silent majority that truly, just want to do business through people first. So, again, I mean, we could go on and on, but all the things you see, working with Kevin Smith, being with Russ, going to Podfest, all the things that snowballed from that and continue. None of that came from a great funnel alone. None of that came from performative anything, networking. None of that came from cold DMs massively, right? That came from someone picking up the phone and saying, you need to meet Mike. You need to meet this person, right? We invited Wendy to the private viewing. That was it. There was no other thing. And in 2 days, I'm going to do all this stuff. No, hey, we have something that we're excited about. We have value. Would you like to be a part of that? Would you like to see that? And then when the right people see it, what do? Well, they do like, Captain Conman, right? Like, you don't have to prompt him. So my point is, there's more than one ways to skin a cat, as we say, right? If you're out there trying to force it and do all this transactional stuff, but you're a relational person, then get in where you fit in. So Kindness Worldwide makes sense. I mean, again, I go back to who do I want to do business with? People I can trust. Don't have to look over my shoulder. I like working with them. They're fun people, right? We have a business relationship. It's like PB&J in the same jar when they put it in the same jar. I'm still talking about it 20 years later. And that's how I feel. It's just, I don't have to, right? I have people who push me up, people who open doors. And what do? Same thing for them. The only caveat is just do it for the right people, aligned people who share your values. And that's why I'm so thrilled about Kindness Worldwide. Like Kevin said, hey, do you want to meet? Yes, absolutely. I didn't even look at the profile. I knew that was the right person. Me and him have a good relationship. That's enough said. I don't ask you a bunch of questions when you say come on the show. I just come on the show. And you can get a lot more done together than you can alone. Because I couldn't do it alone. I'll be honest. I just had to go out there and tell people, man, I don't know. Is it just me? And thank goodness people said, no, it's not just you. I'm glad you said it. Let's go create something to lead by heart. And that's why people like you, Russ. Your heart first and then business second. Boy, that's the horse before the cart if I ever seen it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think that when we all lead with our heart and we are better together, I always say that it's so true because we cannot live life alone. It is a cumulative effort. That's why God put us together, built us for a community. And Randy, you know what? You are out there sharing that smile and sharing that kindness with people all the time. Thank you.
Well, I've learned through experience that it's a lot, like Mike was saying, it's a lot easier to go through life when you are treating people with respect and you're showing them that you value and appreciate them, I found I get a lot better response when I actually do that. It's amazing how that works. I also have had the experience in the past of leading with unkindness and it didn't go anywhere. It's like running into a brick wall. Interestingly, I made a post on LinkedIn the other day. I did a search on ChatGPT, on Gemini, on Claude, and asked the question, has there ever been a time in history when returning hate for hate ended up being a positive solution for everybody involved? And of course, the answer, what the answer was. The immediate answer was, well, no, no. Then I turned it around and says, has there ever been time in history when returning love for hate has resulted in a positive experience for everyone, for all the parties involved? And there were a multitude of them that came up. Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, when he said, malice for none. The one that really stood out to me, though, was closer, was the Amish people back in 2006 when the gentleman, the man in Pennsylvania shot those children and how they treated his family and his wife afterwards. That's we live in a time when it's really challenging. There's a lot of division, a lot of polarization, and too many people are embracing a zero-sum mentality where they, you see it out there where they, if you exist and I exist and you don't believe what I believe, then you need to cease to exist. And if we keep going down, if we go down that path, embrace that path, it's a lose-lose situation for everybody. So all I'm doing with what I do, I can't influence everybody, but I'm like the little honeybee. I can go out and gather and share a little bit of pollen, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of honey everywhere I go, and try to grow, plant seeds of kindness and grow a little bit of love. And if I can do that and inspire somebody else to go out and do it, and they inspire somebody else to do it and create a few ripples, then I will have succeeded. So.
And that is such a blessing because you know what? If everybody just did a little part, it is amazing the cumulative effect that it would have on people. And Michael Ray, I'm telling you, one person at a time, you step in, you brighten somebody's day, you make them smile and laugh. That warms my heart. So many other people just by that one act.
I'm living proof. And as we've kind of talked about it here today, the power of one and the ability to touch another person's heart with smiles, love, and kindness. And you never know what someone's going through. And for me, the genesis of a lot of the work that I've done kind of started in that same vein. Yeah, it started with my daughter who couldn't speak, but yet it took the actions of a Wendy's drive-through worker in that short stint. We do that all the time and we don't think anything of it because we're trying to really power through and get through. But how she touched my life to where I was able to, prayerfully reflect on that. Something that Randy had said that, that resonates with me is when you don't know what people are going through and the actions, we are living in very weird times. And a lot of times, I go back to my daughter with Down syndrome to where they don't judge, when we find a place to where it's challenging to smile or love or be kind to others is because we find this place of judgment. And when you don't judge, and I say this at times, especially in the political atmosphere that we have, you had two people in the Supreme Court with Anthony Scalia and Ruth Bader Ginsburg who were polar opposites. They probably, when they wrote their opinions, were vastly different on a lot of social issues. Yet for 30 plus years, they had this amazing, loving relationship. How do we find that, as a people? And again, a lot of times, for me, it's and it's been mentioned a couple of times too, to where we become intentional to where it becomes so natural. You don't have to think about it. So maybe at first you do have to act out and think on it, but yet we create these new habits. And as you do this all the time, then, for me, again, the simplicity of smiles and kindness is the ability to love. And I have had no greater example of that in my life than a little girl who can't speak. You know, so if we find that place to where we don't judge, the ability to inspire, impact, and influence and touch lives. You know, a lot of times I did it through the power of doing kind acts to make people smile through videos. And I was able to get away from the human nature part of the vanity of going, oh, dear Lord, how many people watch today? Because it's not about how many people, whether it's 1, 10, 100, 10,000, 100,000. I've even had some that had over 1 million. I was looking for the impact of one human being, because that's what it meant for me and what changed my life. You know, the simplicity of one human being in touching my heart and soul, and the ripple effect we all know that it can have on others.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you are so right. I love that, Michael Ray. And that's what I love about you. I know your heart. And, it is all about that one person. If we touch one person through what we do, is that enough? Absolutely can be, for sure. I mean, we want to touch as many people as we can, sure. But, when I go in to the grocery store and someone's having a bad day, my goal is to try to make them smile. Just try to take a moment and smile. When I used to walk with my kids, and we'd walk past, these young people that were kind of gangbanger type, people that, wanted to do that, but young, and they're trying to act tough. And I would just go, hey, how's it going? How's your day? And they'd go, hi, fine. Thank you. It was amazing how it changed their whole disposition. So Russ, smiles are cool, and it's just amazing things by just putting out simple truths like that. Kindness is cool. Smiles are free. There we go. I got it right. But you have always been about that in all that you've done. And I'm so thankful for you. From the first time we met on your live stream, the first time I met you, talk more about how important this is later in life and through these changes and all that, the importance of really intentionally living your life, intentionally being kind to others.
Yeah. First off, I wanted to thank all of you to actually relay the communication of kindness and make sure that we have a unified front, and we can do something for each one of us and globally as well. And I just, but for me, the intentionally to go from a live stream event to not being able to talk. I just live stream event every day and not being ever able to talk, and going through tragedy and working on my parents, supporting my parents and everything. But additionally, we can all, I think, when you're down and you have a difficulty, the best thing that I found is to help someone else just achieve something that we can actually make him smile, make him interaction when they least expected. And it's just like it's just an intentional habit that I choose to do every day. I get up, and when you go into the grocery store, or the gas station, and everything else, you can actually just make sure that you smile and say please and thank you, and just comments of courtesy, and make people feel welcome wherever they are and where they need to be. So it's sometimes difficult to talk for me, but it doesn't stop me from being conversational, and I can actually make people laugh sometimes. It's just like, okay, I'm just me. I just have to be me, and it's refreshing not to, as I get older, just to be myself. I don't have to be in appearance or anything. I don't have to hide. I could just be me. So that's a way to actually make sure that make people feel comfortable, make people feel welcome.
That is so true. And, it's such a blessing when you're living kindness that, you, Russ, went out of your way to make sure that we could meet when you came through my area. Meeting, I've met almost everybody in this room, but Michael, Ray, and Randy, we still got to get together. But that moment when, it's just like living kindness, love and kindness. You get to meet that person. This is wonderful. But being in the same room and giving them a big hug, just a little bit different, right? That tops it off. And so I just love that. I just love that so much. So, Andrea, okay, so this could be our last time through. And you know what? I've said it before, but I just can't tell you how thankful I am. And you are brave to be the only lady to keep us all on track here, because we're a lot of guys we're a handful to keep in order and in line. And so you got a tall order for you. So it takes a lot of kindness just for that. But yeah, tell us what are your future plans? I mean, are you looking to expand any things you're doing or just continue being yourself? What are your kindness plans for the future?
Definitely continue being myself and continue to do at least one thing that I commit to on a weekly or monthly basis that is for others, like in social media. But I like to go with the flow. Like I mentioned, in 2020 is when I started my Worthy Hope and Kindness rallies because I felt like the vibe, the world needed it then. I started 15 Minutes of Kindness, I want to say 3 years ago. Um, Same thing, because I felt we were in a place where it was very nice to make sure and give space to give others a shout out of what they mean to you, of why they made a difference in your life. Because so often we take that for granted, and these people don't hear these things, or just show appreciation, and it'll maybe let others know that's appreciated when they're kind. So I'm going to still go with the flow. I trust my heart. I know there was a lot of conversation about the heart, but I've definitely been doing things. How and in what shape and form, I couldn't tell you, but I will continue to do at least one thing, at least 15 minutes of kindness for now.
Yeah, and it's so amazing because it makes such a huge impact. There's few things during the week that I really commit to early in the morning. And for me, that's 5:30 a.m. I'm an early
Oh
guy,
my
so no big
God.
deal. But it's 5:30 a.m. for me, and I commit to that every week. Thank goodness I'm up earlier than that, so that's good. But yeah, no, I mean it's important to me, and it really makes me smile. So I just thank you, appreciate you. Tell everybody how they get in touch with you.
LinkedIn is the best place. Check me out on LinkedIn if you want to get in touch with me and hear my voice and participate or come backstage with me. Come on Wednesday morning, 7:30 Central, and I'd love to hear your shout outs. So yeah, always happy to make beautiful new connections.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, Kevin, you're up, man. Wrap things up. Give us any information that we haven't got yet and tell us how to get in touch with you and hear more about the movie.
Yeah, well, the world has no idea what's coming. There's a global movement well underway, sparked by a single act of kindness. The goal, the vision is to elevate kindness to the global shared value that represents all of humanity. There's many pathways to do that. One is in collaboration with multiple kindness advocates and organizations from throughout the world. Kindness Worldwide is proud to be a founding member of the K20. We're launching in Florida with many other kindness partners at Florida Gulf Coast University in May. So think G20, top 20 economic nations, K20, top 20 kindness organizations from throughout the world, coalescing, collaborating, speaking with one voice for kindness, with that goal in mind to elevate kindness to the global shared value that represents all of humanity. I think we all recognize we need more kindness in the world. I don't think anyone would disagree with that statement. Well, how do we get more kindness? We encourage it, we recognize it, we reward it, and we celebrate it. One pathway is we formally recognize Kindness Week worldwide. That is the signature initiative of Kindness Worldwide. This is a movement that's already spreading to multiple communities throughout the world. We already have one governor formally recognizing this meaningful week. Well, why not all 50? And we're not going to stop there. Why shouldn't every member nation of the United Nations stand for kindness? The United Nations is about peace. There's so much focus on our differences. Let's focus on what unites. Every country in the world should go on record and stand for kindness and stand up for it and be proud to do so, along with every governor. So that's what we're going to insist upon. That's the direction we're going. And when enough of us and our global community come together and speak with one voice and insist on better leadership and leading with kindness, we will get more kindness in the world. And so that's what we're in the midst of. This movement is real. It's palpable. The film, For Such a Time as This, it shares about the story and the call to action and how many lives have been changed and saved because of kindness and the ripple effects of single act of kindness. And we're just getting started. All of you here tonight, everyone in your audience is part of this story. It's our story. It's a beautiful story, but the most beautiful chapters are yet to come, and we are all together going to be writing them together, and kindness will change my world. Mark my words. It's coming, and the time is now. There's no better time than today for the present, for such a time as this.
Well, and I completely agree with that. And you are doing such an amazing job. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Well, you can visit the website, kindnessworldwide.org. Has plenty of resources on bringing Kindness Week Worldwide to your community, trailers for the film. I'm on LinkedIn, very accessible. Welcome everyone to be part of this global movement. And I'm just so honored to be with you all tonight and have met so many heart-centered friends on this journey. My life has been very blessed and enriched because of kindness. And it's such a blessing to be with you all this evening.
Yeah, say that website one more time for the kindness.
kindnessworldwide.org.
Okay, make sure we add that to your connection information. Thank you so much. What a blessing you are. And Mike Ashabraner, you made it. You're up next, man. You're almost done.
I did, Russ. It's better when me and you are virtual, not in person. You all know why? Because he can't
I can hear you.
No, I'm just talking. Russ is like you do a baby. Just you like. I said that's fine. I like to talk. You don't even have to know what I'm saying, buddy. I love it. That's how we spent a whole pod fest. I just talk. He just went. So,
hey, Michael, Mike, hang on a sec here. For those people that don't know, I have really horrible hearing that came out through my cancer journey. So I understand a very small amount in live settings. So I have to overcome that, and I just. But through the strength of God, I'm able to do as much as I can. But like Mike says, I give lots of positive feedback when I don't understand. And Mike, he moves faster than this in person. So it was hard for me to keep up with him. So
we had a blast. I even told one of our friends, I said, watch this. I said something naughty to Russ, and Russ is like, yeah. I was like, see, anyway, we had a blast. Yeah, no. I just piggyback and just, I have not much to say. It's what Kevin said. I'll rip off Marcus Aurelius. Instead of just talking about what a kind person looks like, go be one. Right? It's when you see it, and just go do it. And if you're like, wow, gosh, I'm around negative people, we'll fix that. Okay. So, but again, kind doesn't mean weak. Kind doesn't mean all of this stuff. Kind means you choose to be kind. Right. And sometimes kind get to walk off. Right. So again, respond, not react. I'm preaching to myself, but just say, hey, how could I turn this into something positive? Right. And so I love the sentiment. And honestly, Kevin didn't mention this, but we've had shows on it. Kindness, unified government and police department, unified under kindness. And it worked. There's evidence. There's cases. Crime rates went down. Property values went up. So it's not woo-woo hokey. This is absolutely an intentional format that's duplicatable. And that's why kindness worldwide means worldwide. And it's been an honor for the Hounds to really push this up in the early stages, right? And to, see the snowball. And so anyway, if anybody wants to, join the party, reach out to one of us. Reach out, say, hey, how do I get involved? Best thing to do is comment on live streams, just like the folks here. That's the very best way, because Russ never misses that. Most people who comment end up getting his orbit, right? And who doesn't want to join a panel of people like this, folks in the comments? So, positivity is there. You just got to go look for it. You found it. And otherwise, hey, you can find more about us. You can find more about Kindness Worldwide and me making fun of Russ at Podfest. You can see that on YouTube, Hounds of Business. You can reach out on LinkedIn, right? Mike Ashabraner or Redneck One, right? LinkedIn/n/Redneck One. We have Women's Month coming up, and that's going to be epic. We're going to celebrate women, and it's going to be a massive party. So all are welcome. Just have a good heart, want to be kind to each other. Hey, that's easy right there. So appreciate you, Russ. Thank you for all this, man. It's been amazing.
I appreciate you so much. And the beautiful thing, everybody, you don't have to remember everybody's connection information. It's all in the comments and the show notes. You can click on it, go directly to them. And Randy, you're up next.
Oh, I'm going to try to be as brief as possible. Thanks. I'm done. No, I'm just kidding.
Fly away.
It's what else can I say? I'm thrilled to have the chance to work as a partner. The Kindness Factor has partnered directly with Kindness Worldwide, and we filmed for such a time as this. And we create stories that connect people. And if you have a story, anybody out there has a story that they feel is powerful and would like to tell, I'd love to talk to you about it and how we could bring it to life and share it with people. The other thing is, every day, I've got this campaign going, and people have seen it. It's called the Growing Love Through Kindness campaign. And I post something on LinkedIn every day about some little kind event or some experience that I've had with kindness on it, during the day. And the whole reason behind that is just to remind us that, every single simple act of kindness that we do, we're planting seeds. And those seeds, the beautiful thing about kindness seeds is they don't have to sit in the ground for months to mature. They can spring up right there and grow love. And it remember the song from the 60s, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. If those words were ever true, they are true now. We need love. That's what Kindness Worldwide is all about. That's what this is all about. We need love, because love really does conquer all. It's not just a trite phrase. Love conquers all. It overcomes evil. It overcomes challenges. It's the solution to the challenges that we have in this world. If people would be willing to take the time to step back, take a pause and think, what can I do to really make a difference in this world, and to be a bridge builder and to build bridges of understanding and rise above and overcome. And we can all do that. We can be like the honeybees. Honeybees, in their lifetime, one bee flies thousands of miles to thousands of flowers, gathers nectar, and make 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in their short 4 to 6 week life. But then they work together with a hive, and collectively in that hive, they produce pounds and pounds of honey. Just like those honeybees, each one of us is an individual, and we can do our little part in our sphere of influence, and those collective actions can change the world. They are changing the world. They will change the world. And if we have the courage to step up and step in as kindness heroes, and all of us wear red capes everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. We don't need to wear the red capes, but we can step in and step up and step in as heroes every day, just by looking for opportunities to be kind and acting on them. There's no random acts of kindness out there. There's a lot of random opportunities to be kind out there, and we can choose to take advantage of them.
Absolutely. And Randy, how does everybody get in touch with you?
The best place is on LinkedIn, but they can also go to CaptainKindman.com for my personal website, or go to thekindnessfactor.com for our film company.
Awesome. So good. So good. I just appreciate that. Okay. Michael Ray, make us smile. Tell us something wonderful. Just laugh for us. That would be good enough to.
Hell, I've already been crying. The impact. wanting to change the world through smiles, never thinking it would really be more about love and kindness. And when you talk about kindness in my journey, I've probably done 300-400 random acts of kindness for people where I have actually videoed. And I want to share a quick story because, again, when you never know the impact, I never want to diminish any of them, but probably some are more profound because as I look back to one singular event that I did one time, and I know we're up against it, so I'll be quick, but I look back on it and go, did I save a soul? And I say that because the power of video and what we were doing on LinkedIn and sharing with the world, I had a gentleman from Corpus Christi, Texas, reach out to me and tell me that his son had lived in Louisville, Kentucky. And in a driving rainstorm in late July, he had overturned and he was in a coma. And he didn't know anybody in Louisville, but he knew of some dude on LinkedIn that was sharing the message of smiling, love, and kindness. So he connected with me. And he asked me to pray for his son, Zeke. And I said, let's do one even better. I have a platform. I have people of faith. I said, let's meet personally and let's share that. So I decided to meet downtown close to the hospital on the Ohio River. I wanted to use the Ohio River as a backdrop. And as we went down there, it was one of very few times where I did not actually have somebody to film for me. My wife filmed so many of them and she couldn't that day. So we went down there. I knew this was going to be very profound. I'm a very emotional man and that I did not want to physically be holding the phone and sharing this message with the world about Tim and his son, Zeke. So I started asking people to do it. And I went up to the first group of people and they said no. I went up to the second group of people that said no. And then I really thought at that point, I had an elderly gentleman, probably in his early 70s. I'm like, oh, this is my guy right here. And I walk up and he says no. And I got to a point going, look, let's just go ahead and do it. We walked about 100 feet back towards the Ohio River. As I got ready to start to do it, this elderly gentleman walked back up to me. He said, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to film it. So we sat there. I talked about Zeke. I asked Tim to share what was amazing about his son. And then what came to me in the moment was I asked for people watching this to say the Lord's Prayer for his son. Now I'm crying because I thought in doing that it would save Zeke's life. Zeke never came out of a coma. 2 months later, they pulled the plug, and at 29 years old, Zeke passed away. But the moment was so profound because as we left and we walked towards the parking lot, the elderly gentleman came back up to us. And he said, I want to sit there and tell you that I walked back after you walked away to that park bench, and I sat there. And I would tell you I was a man who did not believe in God. And I could tell you the voice of God spoke to me. And I'm sorry, and I will pray for your son. So I look back on that after Zeke's passing and go, maybe we weren't there that day for Zeke, but we were there in what we did and how we were trying to spread smiles, love, and kindness for the gentleman who maybe found Christ. And we may have saved his soul. So never think wherever you are that you cannot make an impact on the life of another human being. I'm a living testimonial.
Amen.
How can people
Amen
find me? It's simple. It's LinkedIn. I'm one of those dudes. I love people enough. I give you my email address and cell phone number, and people do call at times, and I answer, and they go, wow, you answered. I'm like, well, you called me. So it's right there. I love interacting with people.
Well, we love you, Michael Ray. Thank you so much. And so amazing. So amazing. I can't even tell you what a blessing that story is and what a difference everything makes. So last up, Russ Johns, you're the man. Take it away.
I can't follow that story yet. Michael Ray.
Yes, you can, brother. We love you.
Yeah. Smiles. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. It's just like, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have the ability to change lives. You have ability to redirect a positive influence, regardless who you are, where you're at, and you need to be able to believe that, and you know, just believe it and live it, and it's as you live it, it gets easier and easier to actually make a difference, and you can do whatever you want to spread kindness, and this crew is just a testimony for this kindness crew, and the ability to share smiles and kindness all around the world. I thank you so much for having me on, Russ, because it's, you know, I've been absent for LinkedIn for a while, but it's difficult, but I really appreciate that. So hats for, love you, brother.
Love you too, Russ. So glad to have you on. And LinkedIn is probably the best place for people to find you, but we have all of your connection information down there. And so people can click right on it, go to you. And boy, I tell you, I can't even begin to tell you what a blessing you all are to me. I mean, you know what? God has built us for community, and I am blessed to have such an amazing community as all of you. And you mean so much to me, each one of you. Thank you. Just blessed that you took your time tonight to come on and be part of this, because, you know, that alone is a kind act. I ask, you all said yes. That means so much to me, because people know and care for you when they want to spend time with you. And so I just appreciate you so much for being here. And we're just going to close out with all of you on the screen tonight. And I just want to tell everybody, man, if you want more kindness in your life, reach out to this crew. All of the connection is there in the show notes and in the comments. You can find it. We are here every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You go to russreels.live for my YouTube page. Love for you to join there. Thanks for being here tonight, everybody. And with that, we're done for another week. All right. Love you guys. See you, everybody. Bye.